Welcome and hello and hello and welcome and welcome and hello and hello and welcome. It's you guys' national holiday. It's Turds Day. Turds Day. It is June 13th, 2024. We are talking SOFI Technologies Incorporated. Ticker symbol SOFI. It is me, it is I, it is the head turd. Danny Deals, it's un poco mas. We're trying to give you a little bit more because the SoFi stock, as per usual, is giving you just a little bit less. It's M. Russo checking in. Good to see you, M. Russo. Welcome and hello. Let me share my screen with you useless turds. Guys, SoFi back at 686, down 3% on the day. FinTech is just getting killed today. Of course, Upstart's down 7%. They were up yesterday. Affirm's down 4%. They were up huge on that Apple Pay deal. Bitcoin is down. Even Palantir, even the great Palantir, the untouchable prince of AI, the princeling is even down. So, if Randy Karp is down, he's probably having a bad hair day. Randy Karp, did I even get his name right? Anyway, guys, yeah, I've been going with the tap water instead of the coffee, trying to keep my head clear. I did pick up 1,000 long shares, no games, no options, didn't even sell a put. Just saw the stock down at 682, and I just happened to have a little bit of dry powder and just grabbed some shares in my SoFi account. So I don't know. I really feel like 7 is holding, is going to hold, has held, and I know people are like, you're insane. The stock's at 686. How could 7 have held? Guys, I'm just looking at this chart, and okay, it keeps bouncing off of this area now, 670, but it almost every single day it recovers at or near $7, and it was over $7 today. So I think it's going to recover throughout the rest of the day. There's numerous things that are telling me the shorts are letting go of the stock. And that's borne out in the evidence, guys. I mean, I told you I've been watching these short volume ratios for, the last several years. And this number for a long, long time is never in the 20s. It's often low would have been in the mid 40s. It's often in the 50s, even the 60s, and has gone up as high as the 70s when they're trying to kill options. Well, if you start to look at the last, several trading days, you see several days in the 20s, most days in the 30s, and then the highest day of the last like 7 trading days, the highest day was 40%, which is very, very low. So everything is telling me that institutions are starting to buy in. They want to flip the stock, but these short turds don't want to cover at 7. They don't want to cover at 670. I mean, ideally, I think they want to cover in the mid 5s. Let me just pause, and I'll get right back to you guys. Sorry about that. Trying to run numerous businesses. Hey guys, sorry about that. Got my phone blowing up, God knows why. I'm of no import. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. There's a couple things I wanted to hit on. I don't think this is going to break down much below 670, if at all. I think it's going to recover back to $7. Yes, they're going to kill these options. Makes total sense. If you look at Max Payne, there's been a lot of puts coming in at 7 in terms of volume. There's way too many calls basically out here at $7.50. I guess it's way down here, but still I don't understand. I know a lot of this is hedging, institutions, mechanics doing their thing, sort of both sides of different types of options trades. But I know retarders are buying some of these short dated calls, and I wish you guys would stop it. I had to take a note from the great savage of Wall Street. The man who invented covered calls. No, I'm just kidding. I know he sells a lot of covered calls, as do I. I don't talk about options a lot, guys, because I'm not an options expert, and I feel like there's so many people that are so much more knowledgeable and skilled in terms of giving anybody some type of options plays and stuff like that. So I just kind of stick to like macro, big picture, comedy, bullet points, stuff like that. I'm trying to defend the stock in terms of narrative. There's a million guys out there like data-driven investing. If you don't follow data-driven investing, you just have your head buried so far up your ass, I can't even help you. But I mean, he goes in depth on these numbers. Dan Dolev is a real smart guy, and he goes in depth on these numbers. But look at what they did yesterday. They returned some shares, 2 million, and then after hours, the borrowing just took off. Today, they're saying shares are being returned. I just don't believe that for a minute. I think this is going to look just like it did yesterday, where this is going to just slowly start to go up. It's going to go way up after hours. In any case, guys, CLPIII, point guard of SOFI, the man with the plan, the guy with the numbers, your buddy in, CFO'dom. I don't know what the hell. But anyway, Chris Lapointe, excellent CFO. I love him talking in terms of representing the company because he's just a little bit more loose. Guys, I'm the greatest Noto fanboy of them all. But Chris Lapointe, if you listen to the audio, as did I, he was talking about Mizuho, Dan Dolev, who, they just did a meeting. So he had a day of insight with Lapointe and team to really go inside the numbers. And I know he's a huge SoFi bull, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. But the guy was asking tough questions in terms of how the hell do you get to these 2026 numbers, and Lapointe did not shy away at all. On the contrary, he was very bullish. And I think if you read just slightly between the lines to the subtext, he's saying that our 2026 numbers are really sandbagged, and he's like, technology at 25%. I think technology is going to absolutely explode. I don't think anybody understands the business model. I don't think anybody understands the ripple effects. Once we start to see rate cuts, everything's going to time out perfectly with the feds giving SoFi permission to get into small business banking, small business lending, small business lines of credit. It's going to fucking double their business overnight. You guys don't understand how this is going to be. And they're setting it all up with student loans. Look at the student loan customer. Everyone else has ceded that ground to SoFi. SoFi is going to own the student loan market. Guys, look at my whiteboard. If you want just a crash course in mental illness, just take a gander at my whiteboard, guys. I'm going to have a little bit of tap water. I'm hyperventilating. Does anybody have a paper bag? He's like, no. It reminds me of Fletch. He's like, did you know? He's like, no, but the spleen was a splitting image. I'll have a glass of hot fat and the head of Alfredo Garcia. Anything. I'll take a copy of the Beatles' White Album if you have it. It's such a weird movie. I don't know. I was such a fan of that original Fletch movie. Still am, but I don't know. Something happened with Chevy Chase after that Howard Stern feud. Just went far downhill. Anyway, good on Parks and Rec or whatever. Sorry, I just splashed some tap water into my nose hair. Oh, the hazards of old age. Jeez. Anyway, Alberto Berti Aviles, got to say thank you to our able moderators. Speaking of our moderators, the best in the business, not only do we have the great VP candidate Alberto Berti Aviles, but we also have sort of fin-turd royalty in terms of moderation, in terms of wielding the wrench. It's not a lurker, J Money. And frankly, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Nothing is confirmed. Of course, our producers are working feverishly behind the scenes. But guys, it looks like J Money, not a lurker, may have got the get of all gets, guys. U-turd fintech royalty could be making their way to the Un Poco Mas broadcast as soon as today. So we just have to see. Things are pending, but I know not a lurker, J Money, is working feverishly behind the scenes to make that happen. And if it does, boy, You guys are going to need to hold on to them hats and glasses because it's going to be a huge, huge event. We're going to talk fintech. We're going to talk SoFi. We're going to talk hair care products. We're going to talk, inadvisable camera angles. We're going to talk about the real issues that you guys want to hear about. Anyway, what was I talking about? Alberto, we got Noto Lurker once again, moderating as well as dominating the chat itself. Wouldn't have it any other way. He is, after all, our Telly Savalas in our hearts. Let's see. We got, who do we got here, guys? Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. It's Poco Moss. We got 55 of you watching somehow. I don't know why. We got Shadow Kissed was here. Let's see. Don't like and sub. Don't listen to Not a Lurker. What's up, Benji? How you doing? Jake the Snake is here. It's Jake the Snake Roberts. He has that that face painted on his butt of his tights. He has that handlebar mustache. Just very ominous. Kind of guy you don't want to fuck with in a biker bar. Jake the Snake Roberts. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Good finishing move. Anyway, guys, I know many of you were huge fans of World Wrestling in the 1980s and went down to that video store and got you that VHS and all them WrestleManias. Got the Battle Royales, got all that stuff. Oh, some good family fun. Hello, Mustang Rider. What's going on down in Nashville, Tennessee? Beautiful Nashville. The Mustang Rider looks like he doesn't really live in Nashville. He lives in some wealthy suburb of Nashville. It's a place with a lot of white people who have a lot of money. Look how happy Mrs. Rider looks. I mean, this couple Mustang Rider looks like they could be models in like pharmaceutical ads, and you just buy whatever they're selling. That's how good and happy they look. It's like, hello, we're down in Nashville. We're taking Preventa. We're making money hand over fist on our stocks. We're traveling the world, but Preventa gives us that little bit of an edge that just makes us smile a little bit more and makes us a little bit more good looking. Anyway, thanks for watching Mustang Rider. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I just like to invent characters about you guys. I know it has absolutely nothing to do with reality, but I'm just a little bit crazy, and a little bit is being charitable. Benji already liked and sub. Matt Flo is here, the great Matt Flo. This guy, you don't know Matt Flo is one of the greatest MCs and rappers. That's how he got that name, Matt Flo. Boy, he flows. Let's see. Steven Zunker is here. I love saying that name. So many great names here. Forrest is here. How much did 1,000 shares cost at 682? That is, let me see. That's $400, Forrest. Run, Forrest. See where you got your name. No doing any math. No, of course, it's just shy of 7K. Matt Flo, it's a new day. I'm still fed up with SoFi. You and me both, and everybody else who's long Matt Flo. I'm running for president, as you know. We're in max pain until Q2 results. Time period. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Versa. I mean, it's all about institutions accumulating. We've had a couple big buys come in. It's going to flip when they want to flip it. It's like when they attack. It's going to be when you least expect it. I think Wall Street is not on the fence. Okay, these analysts who are at 4 and the constant detractors and the constant bearish articles, they're not on the fence. They don't misunderstand the company. They don't miss the tech opportunity. I think they're just being fundamentally dishonest, pushing the company down, shorting the company, making money on premiums, selling options to morons, and basically it's mechanics. It has absolutely nothing to do with them misunderstanding the fundamentals. They don't care about the fundamentals. If they can create a narrative that the fundamentals are scary or unknown or that this is risky, forget the fact that it's not. Forget the fact that the business model is going to work, going to spin off an absolute ton of free cash. And that's just one of the many things I think are misunderstood about the company. But let me just go over my idiotic notes, and I want to give you sort of a, my picture into how the business model, how the ripple effect is going to come together. So look at what SoFi's accomplished, and they've done the hard part. I know people aren't seeing that, but they've done the hard part. They've done the Model 3 production hell, sleeping on the floor. That was the integration. They've taken the short-term pain. They've taken the big write-down. Now is when you get huge internal savings from Galileo going forward, and management, Chris LaPointe, is telling you, they're telling you, that tech is about to explode. That's how you meet those projections from they're making in 2026. So they before anything has to happen, people are like, why aren't they innovating? Why aren't they innovating? They're not innovating fast enough. They're not rolling out new products. They just bought Galileo 4 years ago, Technisys I think 3 years ago. Okay? They had to integrate those two companies together and then integrate that with SoFi internally. That all took a couple years. I know those of you that have like SoFi credit card, it was just like late 2023, you got that notice you were actually moving over to SoFi Bank, or I don't know exactly when it was, but it wasn't that long ago. So that took a lot of time. And then in that same time period, they're deep in proof of concepts, adding new clients. They've lost other clients. There's a ton of stuff going on behind the scenes at Galileo just in the last, 1 to 2 years. And people who don't think enough is happening, I just don't think have the vision. If you don't have the vision for the company, don't buy the company. Sell the company. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. When people are like, okay, Palantir is going to explode. Palantir's already exploded. Look at their market cap versus the sales versus the growth. Look what their margins actually are. It's very easy to say what their margins are going to be, but with SoFi, you see it in black and white. You see a roadmap for how they're going to get there. I think Wall Street wants to own this company, and they want to own it cheap. Oh my God. I just heard from the absolute best person in the world, Princess J. Much love. Thanks for joining me, everybody. It's Poco Moss. It's Danny Deals. We're talking SoFi. Versa Tennis Clips could be right. We could, but remember, Max Payne kicked up to 750 there. Went up a little bit. So, Benji, that's the way. Speaking of coffee, I'm walking in DD right now, watching DD. Cool. Dad, blocking all due to my massive wrench. Alberto Berti Aviles has a massive wrench complex, and he's wielding that. Stop console wars. I didn't time it this week. Didn't get to flip profits back. Pullbacks going after damn 750 never hit. Didn't time it right this week. Yeah, it happens. I mean, we're trying to work with short-term options. It's very touchy. It's very time sensitive. It's sometimes just comes down to a matter of a couple of pennies, whether you make money or not. He needs to strike fear in the shorts. That's what I'm telling you guys. Noto, the SoFi, the company needs to buy that monster truck Gravedigger. It's like a Chevy sedan delivery on like 20-foot tires. Buy the Gravedigger, hire the Lollipop Guild. You play bumper stumpers. You've got the shorts digging their own grave. If we need to buy a monster truck, we buy a monster truck. It's a write-off. Gotta silence my fucking phone. This security camera ding is driving me insane. Anyway, guys, Grit and Grunt is here. Welcome and hello. Stop Console Wars is here, making his voice known. This would be a $4 stock right now if it wasn't for Noto stepping in. Oh, I don't know, man. That's not very bright. If you're, in my opinion, take advantage of the opportunities to have a great stock with low numbers. Yeah, I mean, it's not dipping anywhere near $4. I mean, it's basically held around $7. So the people who keep saying that it's just nonsense. Sorry. Low Country Loot and Pawn, welcome and hello. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously true. Tesla and Amazon were both beaten down. But the thing that's really, for me, what's encouraging and why I bought at 682 is they're not able to beat it down below 7, even under heavy short, and that short is reversing. The numbers are proving that. So they're not trying to push it anywhere near 4. They're not even able to get it below 650. So it hasn't really got any organic selling in the last more than a year now. 13 months since it broke through 7 last June 1st. That's my opinion anyway. But obviously, Stop Console Wars has another view, and he's entitled, but he sounds like a bull. He's just kind of a bull bear, kind of a bull, I don't know, just giving you a balanced opinion, giving you some facts. Can't blame a man for that. Or a woman. I don't know what gender Stop Console Wars is. I don't really care for that matter. Greetings from Florida. Hang on to your shares. Days are yeah. I just bought 1,000 shares today, so I'm not selling. Load up on shares. Just hold. But SoFi is a guarantee. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that one. Stop Console Wars. I am planning to hold. I want to see at least 2030. Believe it or not, I don't plan to sell my stocks. Until I retire. I've had Microsoft shares I've held for the last almost 30 years. I'm not somebody who sells stock, willy nilly. I have trade Tesla because it's so crazy. It just goes up and down these insane peaks and valleys. And I'll trade SoFi as well, but my core position is going nowhere. If the stock on earnings spikes, 30% or something, I'm going to flip some shares because I know they're going to hit it again. But you just have to use common sense, build your position. Anyway, but let's see, guys. Burn a whole calorie by hitting the like button. Good for you, Bert. That's a good workout. You can do. I had an invention that I was working on years ago with some investors from the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. They were going to give me $8 billion. It was online health clubs. What it was going to be a small widget, like an app just down in the corner of your screen. It was just a little widget doing calisthenics all the time. So I felt like if you could automate that, save you a lot of painful exercise. But my online health clubs, I used to wear around a shirt that said "Ask me about online health clubs," but it just never caught on because there was no exercise component, so it was less effective than the in-person variety. But still, I think there's a name for it as we get into virtual reality. You put on one of them Facebook glasses, you get your widget doing 4-count burpees, 6-count burpees. I think I got some there. But anyway, guys, so we're seeing everything come together just at the right time, in my opinion. You're going to see rate cuts. The Fed's had one rate cut this year. We saw more numbers today. I forget what it was. It was some business numbers that followed up that were even lower than they expected. So it's just looking like that trend is there, and they're going to pull, inflation down below 3 soon. We might see, they're saying one rate cut, but I wouldn't be shocked if we do see a second rate cut if those numbers continue to trend down. But you're going to see 2025, and that's why I think numbers can be so good in 2026, is because all the stars are aligning. SoFi is going to have a huge capacity on their balance sheet for making loans. There's going to be massive demand for home loans and student loans that are going to just drive this business into the stratosphere. And that's when you're going to see that ripple effect when they get that small business banking capability from the feds, which they're lining everything up. Remember, they just appointed Steven Simcock, for God's sake, general counsel. It's big news, folks. Didn't even move the stock. Steven Simcock rhymes with stock, and end of his name's Cock, so it's fun to say. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Anyway, guys, that was another bit on Howard Stern. It was so fun. I used to listen to way too much Howard Stern in the 90s. But anyway, kind of rotted my brain, but it's I don't want to pay for satellite radio. No, it's ridiculous. Everything's for free online. I can listen to myself blah if I want. So lending capacity, home loans, student loans will have huge demand. Falling home prices will intersect with rate cuts. So you're going to see the brilliance of them picking up Wyndham Capital Mortgage. Tech will provide huge savings for SoFi internally. Tech will explode as customers see savings and benefits from outsourcing to Galileo. Multiple profit centers thriving in all conditions. That's what you're going to get with SoFi. Anyway, guys, got to take one more short break. My humble apologies. Be back with you in just one second. Sorry about that, guys. It's not one thing or another today. It's just one of them days. A lot of stuff going wrong. Contractors everywhere, all over the goddamn country. Want answers? I got no answers. Anyway, you see, again, a glimpse into mental illness, my whiteboard here. SoFi's business model is so brilliant, and people just don't see it. You're bringing in external dollars, deposits, funding loans at much higher profit margins. You're bringing in customers of the very highest caliber into student loans. They're going to feed into small business banking. Who are these SoFi student loan customers? Okay, these are doctors, these are lawyers, these are people that already run their all very lucrative small business. And then with small business banking, it's just going to increase deposits, and that's going to feed back into the loan profits. That's going to be personal loans, home loans, refis, and then that feeds back into loan. You have all these profit centers feeding back in, and then you don't even get into the tech. Like, everyone's ignoring the value of the tech, putting a zero. You have Anthony Noto here, as I've noted. Sorry, this writing's so bad, but I was writing with my mouse. Eye of the Tiger. That is the Eye of the Tiger. When whose song was that? Wasn't for. Oh my God, I can't even believe. I forgot the name of the band who wrote Eye of the Tiger. God, I'm disgraceful. I'm getting so old. My memory's horrible. I need more coffee. Somebody please give me that name down here. I'll scroll down. It's going to drive me absolutely insane. Who wrote Eye of the Tiger? Whose song was that? It wasn't Foreigner. It's a band with an S. It's the tip of my tongue. Frothing. Survivor. Thank you. Thank you, Shanus. I like that name. So this is what I want to talk about with, this is all well and good. All the mechanics of this, I don't even understand it. Let my special guest mansplain it more better. If it is a man indeed, could be a woman. But the business model, I think people are why are they focusing on sports? Why are they focusing on golf? Why are they focusing on people at this sort of younger stage of life, these student loan borrowers, these people? Because it's where they are. They're about to blow up, just like SoFi is about to blow up. These are people that invested in themselves, went to grad school, started businesses, and they're going to trust SoFi with their money. They're already trusting SoFi with their deposits. SoFi's bringing in deposits at an outsized rate, and they don't have the highest interest rate. Why are they doing so much better than these other neobanks, these other online banks? People like SoFi. That's what nobody's talking about. That's what, the numbers are proving, is that customers like the model. So they're focusing on sports. They're focusing on golf. They're focusing on people that can go out to NBA stadiums. They're focusing on people with disposable income, business owners who, look at who plays golf. Look at what that opens up in terms of business banking. Law firms, doctors, country clubs. It's just endless. And then you just move into tennis. You don't even want to get into tennis. You don't even want to get talking about the fat tennis ninja. So Galileo is about to ramp. CKWC. I know this is a Charlie Kelly wild card style thing, and I know this is kind of a Pepe Sylvia type of it's always sunny whiteboard, but it's not crazy at all. This is kind of the wheel strategy. You add on business, it gets to 2 wheels. It gets to be a spoke strategy. You get 4-wheel steering. You get 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, depending to what type of weather conditions you're operating in. But anyway, guys, I'm not sure where I was really going with any of this, but I wanted to talk about the LaPointe presentation at Mizuho because it was just absolutely brilliant. I want to say welcome and hello and welcome. Don't forget, Dolev is one of the analysts. I mean, he does resemble a smooth baby seal, but that's neither here nor there. But he knows. I mean, he knows I like to give everybody nicknames, so it kind of looks like a baby seal to me. But that's not really important right now. But that's not important right now. So Dan Dolev, so we have about 24 minutes of questions. So it was a relatively short presentation. So they go through, I don't want to go through this part. Back to 2020, 2021, we raised $3.6 billion capital through our IPO, a private round with T. Rowe Price, $1.2 billion. They go through, how the company was formed, the business model, how things changed over time. He runs through that, how they started the fintech, financial services, collectively funding by lending, now generating $600 million annual revenue. That business is expected to grow 75%. 2024, we're delivering 25% contribution margins. So Dolev's talking about what a big bull he is. So we talk about the tech platform. Everybody wants to talk tech. You're talking about mid-20s combined annual growth rate through 2024. How do you expect to achieve this growth? How do you expect to do it, Chris LaPointe? We don't understand it. And then where are you? What kind of clients are you coming from Galileo Technisys offering? How do you? And then maybe we can talk about how financial services and GAAP EPS, maybe you like to parse them out one by one. Perfect, yes. And I know you guys can read this for yourselves. This is over on Seeking Alpha, but I just wanted to make a couple of brief points, especially about the tech. So he hits on tech platform first. We are confident in our guide and what we expect in terms of mid-20s. We are confident in our guide means in SoFi speak, we are sandbagging. That's what that means. Sorry, guys. Got to get a second souvenir SoFi Stadium cup and get some more tap water. listen to this very, very carefully. Okay, guys? Sorry, I got so much crap going on. I hate to do it. My production values are dog shit, but it's not the fault of the brilliant Alberto Bertiaveles or Nautilurk J Money. It is purely my fault because I have way too many stupid businesses I'm trying to run, and I'm inept. I can't juggle that many balls. It's too many balls to juggle, even for a ball juggler extraordinaire. We have dozens of customers that are various stages of integration. Listen to this. We have dozens of customers that are in various stages of integration or in early stages of revenue monetization that you could expect to see continued momentum and growth over the course of the next several quarters and years. And then, as we've talked about over the course of the last several quarters, we're targeting partners that are large financial institutions who need to modernize their tech stack, or large brands that have big installed bases who want to get into financial services. On the latter part, we're seeing very robust demand and are in great conversations with a number of top banks in the US and top banks in Latin America. Did you guys read this? Do people have shit for brains? And they're selling this company under 7. They're shorting this company from here. I don't get it. Listen to what he's telling you, what stage they're at. They're not growing yet. They reset, they retooled, they're back down, and Galileo is absolutely about to explode. And it's already there. The customers are already there. They're just in the early stages. I hate you guys. On the latter part, we're seeing very robust demand and great. Oh, I already read that part. So we're in a prime position to be able to offer that type of solution. We're in RFPs, discussions, many top U.S. banks right now. Those conversations are going extremely well. Listen to what he's saying and then think about the responsibility. This guy cannot say anything that's not 1,000,000% true. He has to be very conservative, very careful in what he says. He's telling you a number of top U.S. banks, those conversations are going extremely well, and they're reaffirming the guidance for 2026. I can take 1 to 3 quarters. It can take 1 to 3 quarters to sign up a client. They're giving the exact kind of roadmap I demanded a week ago. I know Chris LaPointe is watching my videos. I know it for a fact. I can't tell you how I know it, but I know it. And I appreciate him addressing my concerns directly. I will take you off my shit list immediately, Chris LaPointe. And then you start generating revenue. But what I would say is with these larger, more established businesses, we're going to get a meaningful scale of revenue much faster. People keep asking, how do they get there in 2026? This is how. Listen, open up your ears, shitheads. These guys are pretending not to understand the business. They're pretending not to understand the tech stack. They're pretending not to understand the fact that they are going to sell this software, essentially, this solution. They're going to sell a ton of it, and it doesn't cost them anything incrementally. That's why all the revenues they're going to bring in, most of that is going to be pure profit as they grow. This business model is absolutely brilliant. They have very little competition in this space with bank charter. Really none. Other big banks are not trying to do this. They want to outsource it. They don't want to be in this business. It's far too small. Think about it. They're always talking about Capital One investing, JP Morgan investing. But these are companies with market caps in the hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, Massive, massive sales. They don't want to get into this little software business. Couple $1 billion around the margins. For SoFi, for us, it's a huge business. It's huge money because we're a tiny acorn about to grow into a giant oak. Oh, sounds like some type of commercial for an ED cure, like giant oak. Goes back to that. No, I don't want to cast any aspersions on anyone, and no one. Just messing around, guys. So we're in a prime position to be able to offer the kind of the solution they're talking about. They have these huge customers that are going to ramp revenues very, very quickly, and they're already right there, rounding third base of the finish line. That's what I see CLPIII saying. We're getting to meaningful scale of revenue much faster than we used to when we're focused primarily on neobanks and fintechs, because those businesses are growing with SoFi. They're often at the same stage or even earlier than SoFi. What they're doing right now is they're getting clients who are already have this huge mature customer base, and they're just getting into this business. They're going to provide a lot of revenue for Galileo very, very quickly. And again, that's how you get to 2026. This company is dramatically undervalued. That's why I bought 1,000 shares today. You know, I don't have any stock options. I don't have any RSUs. I don't have any PSUs. That was with my own hard-earned money. I make swinging a hammer. Building those little chainsaw grizzly bears for tourists and ski towns. It's hard work. Lost an eye. Not really. So you mentioned GAAP EPS. Obviously, that's a huge achievement. I think 55 to 80 cents in 2026. That's the most. He's basically, what are the main levers you can pull to ensure that you're beating those expectations? Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of GAAP EPS, what gives us confidence there is the guide assumes no incremental investments. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. The guidance assumes no incremental investments in new products, new services, no new acquisitions, etc. You can imagine our product pipeline is pretty robust. He is saying again, in not so subtle code, we are massively, massively, massively sandbagging our numbers. Can you guys not read this? Why are people dumping? Why do people think this thing's going to 5? Why do people think it's going to 4? I don't get it. It's already undervalued, tremendously undervalued. They're not factoring in the growth. These people saying this company's not going to grow are just stupid. They're just being dishonest, in my opinion. Why do they think management can't do this? Where's the competition? Modernization, cost savings. Who doesn't want that? A lot of these big companies with big customer bases, they're not big banks in direct competition with SoFi. So they don't care about that stuff. They're going to give Galileo the business because it's the best solution. Because they're earning the right to win. Oh, I got my backup. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello. Oh, Klaus is here. Thank God. I can't even pronounce that. Entropic? I hate smart people. No, I like Klaus, but I hate the rest of you smart people. Console Wars, following along. Tell Chris I said give a high five for me. Console Wars, you're all right. I shouldn't be such a Karen. Let's see. We got Benji, Pepe Sylvia. I love George. Pepe Sylvia was that name when he wrote all that insane stuff on the whiteboard. It's like, I got tons of Pepe. He was working in the mailroom. It was, forget what episode it was, but anyway, it was, I think when they were applying together and they were trying to get benefits, and it was working in the mailroom. It's like, I got boxes of Pepe. There's nobody working in these offices. Carol in HR, she's a fraud. He's like, these people are very real, and they're asking all day, where's their mail? He's like, chain smoking. Relax, have another cigarette. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Shanus is here. Notes CLP loves a few meaningfuls in their repertoire. Yeah, they all have affects. This will be one of the greatest companies ever. I completely agree with you, Richard Vaughn. It could be the greatest company in the history of the world. No patience and other stocks flying. I'm more than happy to diamond hands this bad boy for years. I'm with you. People who think this thing won't move, I think they're just completely mistaken. Stocks move in big increments. Remember, Palantir was way down, it moved way up. Hood was way down, it moved way up. SoFi's been consolidating now for over 2 years, moving down off of almost 30, consolidating a year off 4, a year off 7. It just looks to me like it's going to move up. That's what it looks like to me. I don't have any proof of that. It's like technicals don't prove anything, but whenever Noto was bought 3 times, the stock moved up dramatically. Shortly thereafter that, he bought shortly thereafter, not shortly thereafter that. Incorrect grammar. My apologies. 1,000 pardons. Beg your forgiveness. Anyway, so you look at this consolidation. Every time it moves up, it doesn't consolidate all the way sideways and make a big move down. It hasn't. I mean, that doesn't mean it can't, but it's failed at the 50-day quite a number of times. Going to take another run at it, I'd say. But we're at the end of the wedge here, guys. I mean, we're at the end of the wedge, and something I think dramatic is going to happen up or down. That's, I can't tell you exactly which way it's going to go. But let me quickly just look at a couple of things. But he's saying assumes no incremental investment. What we're assuming is 20 to 25% CAGR over the next 3 years. And it's obviously hugely sandbagging, 50% for financial services. They're talking about, technology, 25, 30. It's absolutely, this technology could grow. The technology growth could be absolutely parabolic. You don't know. If it catches on, it catches on. This is a solution that can be replicated and multiplied without adding much cost. This could be absolutely huge. It could just steadily grow. It could be a nice profit center, or it could be absolutely massive. But if you read this talk, if you read what LaPointe is saying, it's going to be big. It could be massive, but it's going to be big. So, strange statement about Riot stock. Message telling me it's a risky trade. You see, or not even showing that. Okay, you guys must be talking about something else. Yeah, I didn't talk about Riot stock, but anyway, Yeah, you guys have your own world in the chat. But if you look at Q1, we saw 1.9 billion spent on the platform. That was up from 1.5. So you look at how much money is going through SoFi's platform, churning through, and that 1.9 billion of spend on the platform drove 50 million of analyzed interchange revenue, which was up 60% year over year. Listen to some of these growth metrics of some of their businesses. Yeah, the aggregate and the entire company, because there are certain things dragging the company and they are pulling way back on lending in terms of personal loans. But this company is absolutely poised to explode. I know I sound like a broken record, but just my opinion. Anyway, guys, I would strongly encourage you to read through this interview. It gives you his favorite word, credit blocks. I just learned it this year. Don't have to be conservative, your outlook, personal loan growth. You've been conservative. The last time you mentioned some green lights, red lights. So internally, everything is green. Externally, basically, they're ready to loan inside SoFi, but they don't feel that the landscape is correct to do that. So it's just a coiled spring, just keeping their powder dry, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the decision not to open up the credit books a little bit more. And this is, I've read this, guys. I encourage you to read this. I'm not going to keep going on. This has gone on way too long already. But if you just look at what Lapointe is saying and then you listen to the words, he's obviously being extremely conservative in terms of what's going to happen over the next 2 to 3 years. And this company is just dramatically undervalued. I think Wall Street sees it. I think that's why you see the short giving up. I mean, at least in the short term. Now, they're still able to control the price. They borrowed a ton of shares previously, and there's still a significant short on the stock, but I just don't think they're prepared to short it heavily from 7 again. I think, it's shown that Noto's going to step in. That's a cue to other institutions to step in. You see them buying the stock. Institutional ownership is slowly but steadily increasing every single filing, and I think it will continue to increase. The shorts will continue to be shaken off the stock, and the stock will go up. When is it going to make its run? Is it going to be the end of that wedge? I can't tell you. I mean, that's my speculation, but you just don't know. I just believe at the end of the day, fundamentals always win the day. SoFi is going to spin off a ton of free cash, and the technology side of the company could absolutely explode in a way that just nobody's predicting. And I think that's what Chris Lapointe is telling you. He's like, 2025. He's like tech 30. And if you look at data-driven investing, he gives you his bull case, bear case, and base case. And, he's talking about the tech platform just this year, 15, 20, 25. Okay, I think they were saying 20. So he's basically using, I think, management's guidance as a base case. Then he pushes 30 out through 2028. I think you could say 30, 35, 40, 50, easily. When I'm looking at the landscape of competition, bank charters, how many companies would have to be involved in the solution that SoFi and Galileo can offer in-house, I don't think there is that much competition. I think SoFi is building an absolute fucking monster, and that's why I bought at 682. But it's not financial advice, guys. I'm just a chunky stock monkey. I'm DJ Patchy Drizzle. I'm the average white Dan. But it is what it is, guys. Again, want to salute J Money Not a Lurker. Just a huge get. Might land some fintech royalty on the channel. Could be as soon as today, guys. We'll just have to tease that for now until we get confirmations from our able production staff. I'd like to thank Alberto Bertie Aviles. I'd like to thank J Money Not a Lurker. I'd like to thank Princess J, million times more ways than I can tell you. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Let me get you a check of the live short interest before I run. I know some of you turds want to see that. Let's see here. God damn it. What are we talking about? Borrowed change just dropped from 1 million to they just returned 10 million shares. Did something dramatic just happen while I wasn't paying attention? See a big order there. I don't know what that was. Sorry, guys. I don't have all the appropriate websites open on this computer. This is just my U-turd computer. It's not my... where was that order? What am I missing here? Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. Can anybody tell? Oh, my God. It was a sale. Well, no. It was a red candle. It wasn't really a sell. 1.23 million, and the stock moved 1 cent. So, wow. Okay, that's a big candle. A lot of volume today, guys. 40 million shares traded on the day. It is June 13, 2023. I got just about an hour left in the trading day. It is power hour or sour hour if you're a SOFI investor, because I don't get it. That's delayed, so returning a ton of shares, fixing the price low. I don't think retarders are dumping into this churn. At least I hope not, but you never know with retarders. Anyway, guys, that's a SOFI stock, ticker symbol SOFI. Peace. I'm out of here.